Don't mind me, just sneaking out to go to Kohl's. The home deals right now, they're too good to pass up. Like up to 40% off Cuddle That's bedding, up to 50% off the cutest fall decor, and up to 25% off Ninja kitchen appliances. How can I resist? You can even get 15% off or 15, 20, or 30% off with a Kohl's card. So yeah, I'm going all in for fall, and I can't even wait. Select styles. Offers end October 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shannon Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, instructional, and technology coach for my district.
And I'm her producer and husband, Fuzz Martin, and I'm going to go out on a whim and say that this is going to be an awesome episode.
You're sparkly today.
Yeah, well, I have been working on puns all day. Mm-hmm. I don't really quite know what the tool is that we're talking about, but I know the name of it, and I've been practicing whims. Nice. So, yes.
And there's a game with puns, isn't there?
Oh, man, there is. I'm actually the state champion from 2006 through 2016.
Nice.
And then they made me retire.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called?
I don't know.
It's like pun something. Pun.
Yeah, Punstagram? No, Puntiferous. I feel like we bought it for one of my employees.
I think you did for like...
Pretty positive we did.
Yeah. Like, we'll have to Google it.
Yeah.
If you like all these puns, there are activities that you can practice them with out there.
There's actually, we're doing a podcast for one of our clients, and we have to come up with 3 farm puns per episode.
Nice.
And it's actually pretty cool. It's how I pay the bills, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun with your puns. So we're on episode 99, which is pretty exciting. Like we're almost at 100 mark.
Exactly.
So close.
Punderdome. That was the name of the game.
Punderdome.
Yeah.
Is that like school appropriate? Like, could you use it in the classroom? Or?
I don't know for sure. I don't know if we've actually ever played it. It's a card game for pun lovers, and let's just see if it's got a age number on here. I'm not seeing one, but I'll report back at the end of the episode.
Okay.
You do this. I'll go
go searching. I've got kids that are really good at them. That's why I ask. Like, it would be fun to do in the classroom. I mean, you could do it in the classroom even if you don't have a game set up. You could just have like pun contests with your kids.
Sure, certainly.
Like in language arts.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to get your mind mind going.
So, like today's tool, you could totally use to gather all your ideas for puns.
You could, exactly.
And it could be amazing.
And you could work together to do so.
So I'm going to share the tech tool while you dig around about puns.
Let's do that.
The tool that we're talking about this week is called Whimsical.
Whimsical.
And what's interesting about Whimsical is that, I don't know, the name doesn't exactly describe what it does.
No. It sounds, it feels like they had a cool name URL, and they're like, let's just call it Whimsical. I've got this URL in GoDaddy. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. So anyway, Whimsical. I guess you can make anything whimsical and whimsical, though.
You can. That's true.
So what it is, it's a giant workspace. It's a giant workspace. Mm-hmm. And what's cool about it is it offers a lot of different tools that you kind of use separately, depending on the sites that you're going to. So if you're like a big fan of Padlet but don't want to pay after you have your like 4 Padlets created, or if you love using like different mind maps and after a while you get to the point where you have to pay premium because that happens eventually. Well, what's cool about Whimsical, it's whimsical.com, is yes, you can upgrade to the premium version, but there's a lot of different choices in the free version. So it's a workspace, which is really awesome. So as I shared you in mine, so you can kind of see it, if you want to create let's say you want to do a brainstorming board with your students, you can go through and choose the sticky notes option, which works kind of like Padlet, where students create little sticky blocks, and you can go ahead and write in them and have different color Post-it notes, and you can add different information to them as you want to. If you go through, you can add pictures in, you can add like links to URLs if you need to, and you're able to create a whole giant board of like thought process. So if you want to have puns and you want to have them by color, you can color code your puns by theme, have kids sort them, do what they want to. There's a lot of flexibility. So right now I'm in the sticky note section. You can choose the size of your font. You can choose the color. You can have like a watch card put on it, so keep an eye on things. You can assign them to specific people that are shared on your board as you choose to. And you can duplicate and do all of that kind of stuff. If you click the little 3 dots, and you have even more options where you can move them forward and backwards, which I always appreciate. Like if you've got a deck and you're stacking them on top of each other, then you can bring certain ones forward as you want to, which is really easy. The tools are all very easy to manipulate, which is nice. What we kind of discovered as I was sharing them with you is you can share a board with people, and then you have options when you're sharing. So if you go to the little paper airplane, which is funny because you're talking about a paper airplane in Google Earth last week.
Exactly.
We're talking about a paper airplane here in Whimsical. But
it's kind of a whimsical little share button, isn't it?
Oh, look at you. So when you do choose to share whatever you are creating with other people, you have the options where they can just view, they can edit, you can require a password, you can allow anonymous comments or not, and updates and things like that. So I like the share permissions on there just because you have control over it more so than some other places, which is kind of nice. If you want to create flowcharts with your students, there's an option to create flowcharts. They have all kinds of shapes when you pick flowchart, so you can drop in your quadrilaterals and your diamonds and your stars and your tables and draw up all the things that you want to draw, and then you take your little arrows and make connectors, and then you can watch me do this as I'm connecting all of the lines to the boxes and then connecting other boxes. Isn't that so fun? And you're able to work in the board with me. So you can connect ideas or unconnect my ideas if you don't like how I've connected my ideas together, which just be aware of that depending on how you shared it with your students. Make sure they're not undoing other people's work.
Yeah, I see. I can like go and change what you've done.
Yeah, because in the permissions, I allow you to do that.
Gotcha. Okay.
You just have to be aware too when you're sharing, using this with students, they can create their own Whimsical account and then share with a partner. You do have limits on like how many people eventually. You can have up to 3,000 items on a board in the free version. So, I mean, 3,000 items on a board is a lot, but that's your limit. So don't go over 3,000 things on the board. The wireframe is an option. I always love a good wireframe. I know a lot of people use this when they're designing
like websites,
networking, and things like that.
Oh yeah, the flowchart side of it. Yeah, the flowchart, sure. And the wireframe piece is good for if you're doing a website to lay out. Like this page has these things on it, and this page will have these things. If you're kind of sketching out what you're like, if you're doing a little web project or something, that you can do that. And
I like to do that when I'm connecting out characters, like when you're in a book and you're navigating through, instead of always just doing like a straight up character web. If you use the wireframe, it's kind of a different visual that students can get when you're connecting little pieces of like a story plot to characters and things like that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so it'd be like a traditional wireframe that you would see with more technology, setting things out that way, as I see you playing around in this. And then your mind map is kind of cool. It's your usual, you can kind of set up information to create a character web or to create a web and then web out the information and each piece within it, which is nice. And then you can decide if you want to run it vertical and connect your boxes. And it's kind of cool because as you just click on it, it'll add a new box for you. Yeah,
when you like hit enter, when you type in a word. Mind maps are really good if you're brainstorming for like English and stuff like that. I was in a writing class during the thick of the pandemic, and I wish we used this for mind maps. We actually tried using Jamboard, and it wasn't as nice.
Yeah, because it would be harder. You can't fit as much on a page.
Yeah,
here,
lots of clicking and all that. Yeah, here you can zoom in and out, and your space is unlimited.
Yeah, and especially for what you're doing, and the writing that you guys are doing, you need a lot to be able to build on a lot of details and things like that.
And you can click and drag one mind map onto the other, and then they sprout.
That's really snazzy.
That is snazzy. That's whimsical. Oh, I get it now. Yes. So for this, you could definitely use it to mind map a pun.
There you go. So we're going to do some puns and some mind mapping at the same time. And then we're going to add some sticky notes in there and then a table. So that's something to point out too. It's kind of cool. They have like accessibility features in here too that you can label, which I thought was kind of cool.
Hey, Shanna.
Yes.
Why did the Scarecrow get hired?
I don't know.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Wow.
That was the one that we used in our last episode of the podcast that we're doing for money.
That's fantastic. So anyway, back to Whimsical and your fantastic punning we have going on here. What's cool about Whimsical and that I like is that it's not choosing like a sticky note brainstorming collaboration site versus a mind mapping site versus a flowchart site. You have them all in one space. You have all the tools in one space, and then you can use them on top of each other. You don't just have to use like one set of directions or one setup and then another setup. So on the left-hand side, you're able to see literally choose your flowchart, drop your information, wireframe, drop your information, sticky notes, and you can go back and forth between them all you want to be able to brainstorm your ideas and share them. And now apparently create a pun project for your classroom or a pun brainstorm with your students. I
think that would be the whimsical thing to do.
And also, like, you can align. I'm like messing with your alignments right now, but you can align as you choose to, zoom in, zoom out, bring things forward. Like I said before, group things together. I like that you have this little, if you click on the three dots, you're able to lock information in place. So while cool people like you that are moving my things around on the board all the time, you can lock your own stuff in place so that way other people can't mess with your stuff.
Can I unlock it? No, I can't.
I have to unlock it. I click a little unlock button.
Oh, look at you. Good. That's cool.
Yeah, isn't that? So yeah, Whimsical. There's so many different ways you could use this in any classroom, from having students map out how a cell works to, like we talked about, language arts things, to steps in a math problem, to like solfèges for webbing out ideas.
I got an idea.
What's your idea?
All right. So let's say you sit kids at tables, right?
Usually they sit someplace. Yeah.
So, let's say they're not just at desks, but you want to...
like in groups.
You want to do a group project. Let's say you have 6 tables. You as the teacher create 6 mind maps and just type the kids' names in to each one. And then boom, it just pops up real quick and you've got each table. Unless you've got some other cool tool called like Group Placer.
It's called Skyward, and you just drop kids into their assigned seats. Oh, okay. But no, I'm kidding. But yes, that would be definitely a way that you could like reassign seats if you wanted to, or put things out there, or put them up, or put it on like interactive whiteboard. If you're using a smart board or something like that, you could totally use this on your smart board. Yeah. And then have students interact. And actually, I feel like our image that I have just designed here looks like a basketball court, and you could totally lay out your court and your plays with your kids too in the spot that I've got locked up right here that you're trying to unlock and you can't.
Oh, I had just deleted it.
Good job. It's because I unlocked it.
Yeah.
Dang.
I put it back. We're good.
Cool. So yes, so Whimsical. There's so many different ways that you could use this in your classroom for all different ages. Great way to brainstorm. Great way to lay things out. Again, you click the little paper airplane looking thing to share it out. You can also export it and then print things too if you want to. So you have all of those options. It is nice. It will print off like a PDF if you want it to. So you can design it all and then share it out however you want to. And you have lots of options to do so. You're also able to import templates if you have something that you can import and then work on something you've already started from. So
they've got comments there. You can even resolve comments. And so if somebody says, hey, move this here, or we should do this, or if you want to check something is done, you can do that. Pretty neat, pretty impressive tool you got going on there, Whimsical.
Yeah. So whimsical.com, check it out, see all of the fun, nifty, cool things, and think of all different ways you can lay things out with your kids or have them kind of brainstorm some stuff out. It's pretty cool. And all the tools are in one place.
Yes. And that's whimsical.com.
Correct.
That's the place.
That is the place.
where you can create your space.
Yeah. Coolness.
Always.
Episode 99 in the books.
99. We're going to take a week off to prepare for episode 100.
We are.
And also because we have a wedding to go to, and therefore won't be in the basement to record because we will be celebrating someone's marriage that happened last year, but they couldn't have their actual reception because of the pandemic.
Correct.
And now we're vaxxed and we're going in.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartNWI. And if you want to get more information on the links to technology discussed in this episode, you can visit smartnwi.com or find me on Facebook. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as we've described, but we hope they do, and that's why we do it. And we'll talk to you next time on the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.
Don't mind me, just sneaking out to go to Kohl's. The home deals right now, they're too good to pass up. Like up to 40% off Cuddle That's bedding, up to 50% off the cutest fall decor, and up to 25% off Ninja kitchen appliances. How can I resist? You can even get 15% off or 15, 20, or 30% off with a Kohl's card. So yeah, I'm going all in for fall, and I can't even wait. Select styles. Offers end October 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts, all on the most reliable service. Click to try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator. In 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save with Spectrum Mobile. Visit spectrummobile.com/save today. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.